Most creatives love that rush of creativity. You know the feeling when you create something new that didn't exist before? But what we don't love is selling our creations, or even worse, that 9 to 5 job, you know, the one that actually pays for us to be able to create in the first place. So I went on a mission. I wanted to see if we could take the creative feeling and transmute it into everyday results. And I found it. Turns out a lot of people do this, and it's really easy. I just worked out what their methodology was and stole it. So in today's world, AI, if not now, but very soon, is basically going to be able to do pretty much anything humans can do. So the things that are going to be really valuable are things like leadership. So why am I talking about leadership specifically? Because when you convince yourself to do something you know you need to do, but you don't feel like doing it, yeah, that's discipline, but another word for that is leadership. You're leading yourself. And when you get somebody else to do something that they don't want to do, but they pretty much should do it because it'd be really good for them and make their lives better, well, yeah, that's leadership. And that's also called sales. And when you've got a customer or a friend or anybody who has a complaint, an argument, and it's a really difficult conversation, and you want to work it out with them, that's called sales too. You're selling them on a solution. Basically, everything we do in life is sales. This is going to infiltrate every area of your life, and it's going to enrich it. It's going to make you more of an artist, not less. This is selling with soul, and this is how you do it. The first step is to use the most hypnotic word in the human language, and that's the word because. Whenever you use the word because, it presupposes that whatever comes after it has justification. So we always start the sentence with because, and then just add a fact. Now it doesn't have to be a real fact. It might just be a perceived fact. That means something that somebody thinks is real but isn't really proven. That's fine. Whatever the fact is, insert it there. Because, insert the fact, and then you say, what that means is, and this is one of the most powerful phrases you can possibly say because it's going to presuppose whatever you say next is going to make sense and basically has logic behind it. So because, insert your perceived fact, what that means is, and then educate them. Tell them what you wanted to say in the first place. It means this, da 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 da, whatever your creative spin is. And then finish it up with, and that makes sense, doesn't it? Or, and you would, wouldn't you? Or, and I know that makes sense, right? What that's called is a rhetorical question. It's called a tie down. When you say a rhetorical question going down at the end of the sentence, like, and that makes sense, people simply go, oh yeah, a lot of the time. Or if they don't, they'll go, well, actually, I've got a question about. Now, this is really, really easy, but the first time you do it, you're probably not going to get it right, and that's fine. It's a practice. Think of it like yoga. The point is to start doing it, and then you'll start using it without even thinking about it. Now, the first example I'm going to give is one that I think has real relevancy, and that's getting yourself to do something that you may not feel like doing. We've all done this, right? So this is your way of being creative. You've got to do this task. You don't want to do it. How do you bring creativity into that? Well, because you've got to do the task, what that means is, and this is where you get to be creative, spin it. That means that you're building your inner strength. So when it comes to doing something difficult with your creative work, you've got the strength you need to be able to pull it off. Whatever it is, use your creativity to spin it and make it exciting, to get yourself exciting. And you go, and you know that's something you need to do. See, it's self-talk when we do it to ourselves. That's the difference. So we can use, people go all the time, oh, you need self-talk, use positive self-talk. But they're not doing it in a way that basically hypnotizes us to actually take action. Yeah? So to do it to yourself, you go, because, state whatever it is you've been avoiding. What that means is, and then give it a positive spin. And if you can't think of one, go for a creative walk and spend the whole walk thinking of what that creative spin could be. Just let your mind go. Let yourself just explore and be creative. You're creating a painting, basically. You're painting with words. So once you've got that creative spin, then lock it down for yourself. And I know that makes sense, doesn't it? So that's how you motivate yourself to do something. But how do you motivate somebody else? Well, a lot of times when you're selling something, you just want to tell them all the great parts about your product, whether it's your own creation or somebody else's product. Or even if you're doing a boring day job and you've basically got to talk to a customer and sell them on something. It doesn't really matter what the sale is. The sale could even be you to someone else, in that you're trying to convince them you're a great person to go out with. It doesn't matter how you're selling. What matters is that you don't just go up and start blurting out, you're gonna love it, it's great, and this, that, and the other. It doesn't really work like that. What you do is you give a justification. Because, and then you add a perceived fact. Something about the product that you think they'll really love. And what that means is, and then you add value to them. It's gonna give you this, it's gonna give you that. You're gonna get this out of it. That's what's gonna happen. And then you tie it down. And that would work for you, wouldn't it? Yeah? That is basically sales in a very short sentence. Now, how do we do this if we're in an argument with somebody else? Great question. Well, let's answer that one. If somebody says, I don't want to do this, it's too expensive, we don't just go, are you nuts? We're the cheapest anywhere, and you've already told me you're spending the same. Like, that's not going to work. That's called arguing with somebody. So what we do is we go, because, and then we use the same words they used as the perceived fact. Because of the investment, what that means is you're getting real value from this. This is something you can trust, and you can feel it in your bones. You're already doing X, Y, Z. This gives you added benefit for the same cost. So it's an investment in your future, and you got to know that, right? So this is just another way of speaking. And as I said, when you first start doing this, you can trip up, it's going to be awkward. It's a little bit like when somebody teaches you to play tennis. If you've just been hitting the ball, you're probably holding the racket incorrectly. And that's fine until a coach comes up and says, hey, time to turn the racket over and get a correct grip. Now, when you first start to play, that grip feels really weird. It's awkward. And you actually don't do as well as what you did before. And a lot of people quit there because they go, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, this is nonsense, or the old favorite, I'm just not like that. Well, no one's like that. No one was born gripping a tennis racket the correct way. And nobody's born to do sales this way either. This is something we're creating because we're creatives. We get to literally take the creative process and infuse it into all of our daily tasks. This makes us more creative, not less. This makes our lives better, more richer, and a more expression of who we are individually. You don't have to use my style. You don't have to use anybody else's style. Be you. But use these phrases to get you going so that you can basically be you with your energy and your style and your creative flow and the way that you want to paint the world. But you get to insert you into everyday things that actually mean something in the real world. It'll get you more friends, more money, more of just about everything. But most importantly, you get to do all that and still be you and be a greater expression of yourself. I hope you like this process. I know it's going to feel weird at the beginning, but remember, even the tennis player, after a while, they go bang. And now they're holding the grip the correct way, they can just knock it out of the ballpark. That's what happens here. Oh, because, fill in the blank, what that means is da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And that makes sense, doesn't it? And instantly, you become a pro at this. In fact, you start talking like that pretty much all the time. Now, you don't always need to use the tie down at the end. You don't have to do that. In fact, some of the best ways is just to go, and that makes sense. It's easy done. So use your intuition, use your common sense, but basically that first phrase, because, fill in the blank, what that means is, fill in the blank. That will basically get you through a lot of tough times. Through the 9 to 5, even just getting up in the morning, because it's Monday and I have to do a boring job that I don't really want to do and isn't my life's purpose, what that means is, this is my training day. This is my battlefield. This is where I get the skills and the life experience that I'm going to bring to my art. Whatever it means to you. So basically, this is a process that you can have a lot of fun with. If nothing else, it will brighten up your day. You will get better results. Anyway, I really hope this serves you. And if you liked it, please subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time. on adapting awesomely.